Joe travelled back to the 80s, to the movies he fondly recalled, with Annie and Tom Cruise and Sly and Bruce Willis before he went bald. Back when the movies were simple and the plots had no deep commentary.
Stop! What are you doing to my son?
We were giving him some ice cream.
Daddy, they're goblins!
Oh boy, so this is what it's come to. After reviewing decent movies and shit movies, it's now time to dive to that level that very few people will dare go to. The kind of stuff you find in sewers, because that's where Troll 2 deserves to stay until it rots to some vegetation state. Now, if you don't understand what I just said, then let's take a look at this abomination together and try and figure it out. I understand that Troll 2 has something of a cult following. I know there are those films that are so bad they far outshine any Oscar-winning masterpiece, but this is just so bad, it's something you used to fucking torture somebody to death with. Okay, before I start, I firstly need to recharge my battery so I can shitcase this film old style. Right. The film starts out with a young boy called Joshua having a bedtime story read to him by his dear old granddad Seth. Oh, how sweet. No way, it's far from sweet, because the granddad is telling a bullshit story about some puff running away from deranged outcasts from the Lord of the Rings movies, and then he drinks some green shit and he turns into a half-human vegetable before being eaten. And then we discover to our horror that Grandad Seth is in fact dead! What? So, if he's part of the kid's imagination, how can the mother not see the chair physically moving before her? Whatever. I refuse to get into petty points like this because the movie's filled with enough for me to release an entire series of books on the matter. So, Joshua and his family are going to live like slack-jawed yokels on a farm as they're doing an exchange with a bunch of farmers. So let me get this straight, they're going to live in a shitty, smelly farm while the farmer and his family go to the big city and have a life of luxury and steal everything in the process. It's like me going up to a random tramp and saying, "Hey mate, would you fancy living in my house for a month while I rough it out on the streets?" So, the farmhouse is in a place called Nilbog. Sounds like any typical inbred place, I guess, but wait. Look a bit closer and use perhaps half a brain cell and you'll work out that Nilbog is in fact goblin backwards.
Nilbog! It's goblin spelled backwards!
Holy shit! I can't get over that fact. It's so pathetic. It'd be easy for me to criticise the filmmakers for being so uncreative, but I'm sure they did the best that their 2-year-old mentalities would allow. So, well done.
There's no coffee here in Nilbog, it's the devil's drink!
Nilbog. It just makes me laugh every time I hear it. In fact, to be honest, I had a really hard time recording this as I couldn't stop laughing most of the time. Damn those goblins for being so amusing. Anyway, let's crack on with the story. Ha, very funny. What story? Anyway, there's Joshua's sister and her gimp boyfriend, who seems to like his friends a little bit too much, but we won't go there.
Release your instincts in the bathroom.
Are you nuts? You trying to turn me into a homo?
The acting in this film is typical for a B-movie, but even people who regularly watch films of this standard will know that the tripe that Troll 2 boasts is the worst thing since... well, nothing even comes close to this. It's just simply the grand master of bullshit. Speaking of the acting, Troll 2 has something of a legendary scene, which you simply have to see for yourselves.
They're eating her! And then they're going to eat me! Oh my god!
I don't know what to say about that. I honestly don't. Why do the trolls look so fake? Oh shit, I forgot. They're not even referred to as trolls. They're fucking goblins from the town of Nilbog. They're about as frightening as me wearing a shitty cheap Halloween mask. It's just a joke. And I know they're eating vegetable matter, but how can they possibly even eat when their fucking mouths won't even open or move? Ugh, it's so bad. Once in the farmhouse, the family sit down to eat a meal that has been left behind for them on the table. Who knows how long it's been sitting there for? My guess will be some considerable time, as the bread looks like it's got green fungus growing on it. As Joshua's thick as fuck family chow down the muck on the table, he's contacted by his dead granddad Seth, who for some odd reason is outside knocking on the window. Come on, if he's a ghost then surely he could make himself appear inside the house. Well, whatever. Trying to figure this film out is like trying to figure out the meaning of life. He informs Josh that he needs to stop his family eating the green crap before something bad happens, so he clicks his fingers and time seems to stand still for 30 seconds. "Hey, I saw you move, you old bag." and then Joshua decides to take a piss on the food, and do I really have to carry on with this review? It'd be so much more satisfying to watch Blair Witch 2 over and over again for 24 hours solid. But I've got to finish, otherwise you might be curious to see how it ends, and then you might end up buying it yourself and torturing yourself to death. Well, after pissing on the food, Joshua's sent to his room and his father tells him some rubbish about going on a hunger strike.
Tightening my belt by one loop so I don't feel hunger pains. And your sister and mother will have to do likewise.
What was that all about? See, the dialogue is so retarded, it kind of makes me think the writers just picked random lines from a few different sources and compiled them together randomly to complete their script. Assholes! Why is this so bad? You know, the sad thing is, we're not even 25 minutes into the movie by this stage. Damn, I best get a move on and recharge my batteries some more.
Oh my God!
Like I said earlier, nothing I can say will do this scene justice, so yeah, go pack your bags, mate. You'll never work in the film industry again. Why is it even called Troll 2 anyway, when they go on and on about goblins and Nilbog? It doesn't make sense. I keep on making the mistake of referring to this movie as Goblin 2, which I instantly correct myself on, but it's an easy mistake to make. But is there even a Goblin 1? Who knows? Hell, is there even a Troll 1? Well, yes there is, but it's in no way related to Troll 2, which makes no sense. So why call it Troll 2? The mind boggles, it really does. Speaking of which, does anybody remember these things? Now, I think they were called boglins, but I might be wrong, so if I am, please correct me. See, if I saw this, I'd be far more terrified than seeing this. Oh no, what's this? The entire sequence is drenched in 80s cheesiness. She can't dance, and she clearly knows this, as she's gone and turned it off because she can't think of any more bad moves to do. It looks like she's about to laugh at one point. I know I laughed. I suppose the entire sequence kind of justifies watching the entire film, but it's so embarrassing. God knows what she was thinking. Love it when the family discover no food in the fridge. Nobody in this film seems to be very bright, as none of them have brought any food or drink along, and the only thing that Nilbog seems to stock up on is out-of-date milk. Although, if you happen to be walking along and get picked up by a nice friendly sheriff, you may be lucky enough to be given a sandwich dripping with green slime. Who would eat such a shitty looking sandwich? It actually makes McDonald's look good. A sandwich dripping with green slime. I won't ask questions, I'll just eat it.
Joshua.
No.
Joshua.
No, wrong person. Can't you tell Josh from his sister? Shit yeah, G.I. Joe pyjamas. See, now that's what I'm talking about. Highlight of the movie right there for all to see. There's always annoying characters in films who always get on your nerves for one reason or another, but this movie's got a few. However, I think Joshua's the most annoying because of the amount of times he goes around saying either Grandpa or Grandpa Seth. I've counted them. He says it a total of 44 annoying times.
Grandpa, where have you been?
And what's up with his face? He always has the one expression. Maybe he shit his pants or something. There's a great punch on the girl. Battered boyfriends, whatever next. The oh my god guy is back for more, and I'm really pleased because I wanted him to return so he could come out with more bad lines, such as this memorable moment.
Oh my God, what's happening to her? And why can't I move? There must be a logical reason for all this. Shut up!
Here we see a man on fire.
What happened?
Good question, cause I don't understand it myself. Grandpa Seth appeared with a bottle of flammable liquid.
What fire?
Guess.
Grandpa Seth, the secret arsonist. Watch out. But the bad guy stole it, and then Grandpa Seth somehow made a low-budget lightning effect appear. Yeah, okay, so it was just a drawing on a piece of paper, most likely. The guy ended up shooting up in flames, and his death scream is the stupidest thing I've heard since the last piece of dialogue in the movie. The family are trapped by the evil residents of Nilbog, so they run away, even though nobody's chasing them. One of the loser guys who was hanging around with the oh my god guy is for some reason seduced by the witch lady, and she wants him to eat some corn.
Actually I like popcorn.
Whatever. Oh man, this is disgusting. What? Where the hell is popcorn flying from? Before you know what the hell is going on, he's covered in popcorn, and it doesn't seem to get explained. There's so many question marks about this film, like, what happens to the oh my god guy after he starts turning into a tree and the witch takes a chainsaw to him? What happens to the 80s fashion victim in his yellow top and his pink shorts? Who the hell cares anymore? The family escape from the goblins in dramatic fashion and later randomly hold a seance. Joshua and Grandpa Seth start touching a magical stone from Stonehenge or some other bollocks, I don't know. It's really out there in terms of plot coherence. Joshua eats a double bologna sandwich which materialises from nowhere, and the goblins and the witch lady all freak out and die. But naturally at the end they're bound to come back to inevitably set up another sequel, which most likely won't have anything in common with this film, no doubt. This film is so bad, but the funny thing is, I don't think I've laughed so much through a film as I did with Troll 2, so I guess the joke's on me. So to continue the trend, I think I'm going to give this film 10 out of 10.